Hi everyone! In trying to be the humanitarian superpowers, both Finland and Sweden have landed into a pretty bizarre situation, a sort of a asylum catch-22. And it turns out that because of human rights, terrorists can't be deported, and it's because they are terrorists. So being a terrorist gets you rewarded with a lifetime asylum in Finland or Sweden. And in Sweden, they had a case in which a man was charged with a Molotov cocktail attack in Malmö. And of course, Malmö is very famous or infamous for its problems with these Muslim immigrants. And in that case, the man was charged with grand larceny, and he had written about this attack to an apartment building on an ISIS forum, and it was clear that he was involved in it, at least in some way. But because the state attorney wasn't able to 100% prove the man was guilty, he was let go of the charges. And the man had come to Sweden in 2015 as an asylum seeker. He claimed to be Syrian, but it turned out that he was actually from Saudi Arabia. And he wasn't running from persecution, he was a terrorist. And now Sweden is stuck with him because they hold on to such tight interpretation of human rights. They now can't deport this guy, because if they send him back to Saudi Arabia, there would be a high risk of the guy getting arrested or even executed because he is a terrorist. So now they can't even send him away. And in Finland they have a similar situation with a case I have mentioned before, these so-called ISIS twins. Two Iraqi males who came to Finland in 2015, and they were charged with taking part in the Camp Speicher massacre in Iraq, in which ISIS forces slaughtered Iraqi prisoners of war. And of course the investigation in itself was very difficult because it took a lot of international cooperation, and the Iraqi police had a hard time investigating this. And then there is the fact that these guys are identical twins. So if you have some eyewitness who says, okay, I saw that guy shooting people, how can you be sure which one the person is talking about? So the defense could use that as a part of their defense, that nobody can be really sure which one of them committed certain acts. So they cannot convict either of them because it's so difficult to prove it. And they were let go of the charges. And now they will most likely spend the rest of their days in Finland, because even though these charges and the asylum process in general would most likely lead to a negative asylum decision, they won't be deported because Iraq has death penalty. And there is a risk that if these guys were sent back, they would be arrested by the Iraqi police force and possibly executed in Iraq. So now we are stuck with these guys. So this is the asylum catch-22. That you cannot deport terrorists because they are terrorists. So for the worst possible behavior, you get rewarded with a lifetime asylum in a wonderful, rich country. Thank you for listening, and bye. And the links for the stories are in the description.